Good morning to all of you. I welcomes to all in our lecture series on mechanics, that is core paper 2, and we are discussing unit 4. The topic is oscillations, and this is our lecture number 2. In our first class, that is lecture number 1, we discussed about classification of motion. Basically, motion classified into two types. One is periodic and another is non-periodic. In detail we have been discussed in our lecture number 2. In short, I am going to be revised for you, just watch. And then periodic again further classified into oscillatory and non-oscillatory, and then oscillatory further classified into two type, that is simple harmonic motion and non-simple harmonic motion. I given one example to explain simple harmonic motion, that is one spring which is attached with a mass. This one, this one having mass m. Initially it was x equal to 0, and when it starts oscillate, then the induced restoring force inside this spring is always directed opposite to the displacement and proportional to the displacement. That means, suppose we have to drag this object from here, mean position, to this side up to some extent, some distance. Suppose we can say that x1, and the restoring force Fr1 is going to be induced in this spring along opposite to the displacement. Okay, if we have to drag this object further some distance, suppose this is the place, and from origin or from the mean position this distance is x2, then restoring force will be increased also opposite to the displacement. That means the so-called restoring force is proportional to the displacement and induced in this spring opposite to the displacement. If the displacement will be this side, the restoring force what will be induced in this spring will be opposite to the displacement. So we can write minus x. Here the minus is represents the direction of the induced restoring force. So in detail we have been discussed in our last video about these things, and also we now we are going to discuss, and we are going to found that acceleration also proportional to minus x. I mean to say that these things also we have been discussed in our last class, that restoring force is always opposite to the displacement and proportional to the displacement, and also acceleration is proportional to the displacement and opposite to the displacement in case of simple harmonic motion. Okay, so now in this lecture we are going to be discuss about up to this much we discussed step by step. I suggest that you have to follow that video, lecture number 1, and here we found that restoring force is proportional to the minus x, means opposite to the displacement, and also we found acceleration also proportional to the minus x, means if displacement will be increased, acceleration also will be increased, but in opposite direction it has to be related with displacement. In today's class we are going to be set the differential equation of simple harmonic motion. Okay, so what here written, that if a particle undergoes simple harmonic motion about a mean position or equilibrium position, then if Fr is the restoring force induced, here I changed somewhat, you have to change in your note also, that in bracket induced and x is displacement from the mean position, then by condition of simple harmonic motion we can write that is Fr restoring force is proportional to minus x, that is directly proportional to displacement and direction opposite to the displacement. Okay, so here it can be written as Fr equal to minus kx. Here k is a constant of proportionality called force constant or spring constant. This spring constant will be vary from one material to another. Suppose we are going to consider a spring. Suppose this spring is made up of steel. What will be the spring constant? For brass it will be different. For suppose we are going to consider for silver, the spring constant will be different. So if we have to consider the different material, the spring constant of that material is going to be different, and its unit will be Newton per meter or Newton meter inverse. Obviously here k equal to F by x. F is nothing but Newton, by x means displacement, and the unit will be Newton meter inverse. And the magnitude k is a measure or represents of elastic properties of the system or the spring. Actually properties of the spring, of the spring, you just write of the spring. Okay, of the spring you just strike out the system. So the magnitude of k is measure or represents of elastic properties of spring. Okay, how much it has the elastic nature, from k it can be found out. Okay, now the negative sign here in equation number 1, negative sign represents that restoring force is directed towards mean position, or we can say opposite to the direction of the displacement. So here negative sign means the force is always directed towards the mean position. That means if we have to drag this one this side along positive x-axis direction, the restoring force towards the negative x-axis direction. If we have to press the mass towards this side, the restoring force will be this side towards the positive x-axis direction. Displacement, if displacement will be positive x-axis direction, restoring force will be negative x-axis direction. If displacement will be along negative x-axis direction, the restoring force will be positive x-axis direction. Okay. Now if we have to consider the Newton's second law, force will be equal to mass into acceleration. So according to Newton's second law, we know that force equal to mass into acceleration. So F will be equal to m into dv by dt. V will be written as dx by dt. So m d square x by dt square is nothing but the representation of the force according to Newton's second law. Let it is equation number 2. This is a generalized force equation. This is the generalized force equation according to Newton's second law. Now we have to compare equation number 1 and 2. See, if we have to compare equation number 1, that is, here is the force is equal to minus kx, and here is the force is represented like one type of differential form, that is m d square x by dt square. So we can compare this both 1 and 2 and two equations, 1 and 2 equation, and we can write that instead of here force, restoring force, we can write that m d square x by dt square is equal to minus kx. Okay, so m d square x by dt square plus kx equal to 0, d square x by dt square plus k by m x equal to 0. let consider k by m is equal to omega square. To solve this, to easy solving this differential equation, we considered omega square as k by m. So d square x by dt square plus omega square x equal to 0. Let this is equation number 3, which is represents the differential equation of simple harmonic motion. So in this way, the dynamics or the motion of a simple harmonic motion is represented with the help of a differential equation. This is your differential equation. Order is 2, second order differential equation. Okay. So here I can say to you that any motion surrounding us will be represented by a equation. Okay. Suppose we are going to consider a body have the velocity is equal to 5. So that means here dx by dt equal to 5, dx by dt minus 5 equal to 0. This is a differential equation of a body which is moving with a velocity 5 meter per second, suppose 5 meter per second. So any dynamics or any motion in surrounding us can be represented by a differential equation. Here in our case, the simple harmonic motion is represented by a second order differential equation. In this case, the differential equation is a first order differential equation. But if we are going to consider simple harmonic motion, it is represented by a second order differential equation. Now, if we can solve this differential equation, then we can get xt. Here x means displacement, function of t means we can get the instantaneous displacement of the mass which is attached in the spring at a particular time. What will be its displacement, that can be found by solving this differential equation, and from that displacement we can easily found the velocity. Suppose we got position or displacement of the mass at a particular time, then dx by dt will be its velocity at that point, d square x by dt square will be the acceleration at that point. So if this is vibrating continuously at a particular place, what will be its velocity, acceleration, kinetic energy, potential energy, all the physical parameters can be derived if we can get the instantaneous displacement of that mass when it is oscillating about its mean position. Okay, now we have to trying to solve this differential equation. So come to the next page. Here that it is written in the heading itself, solution of differential equation of simple harmonic motion. That is what we found in our last page. This one, in equation number 3 it is written. So if we can get, then we can found the physical parameters, that is kinetic energy, your velocity, acceleration, etc. So previously we found the differential equation of a simple harmonic motion along x-axis is in the form of equation number 3 as d square x by dt square plus omega square x equal to 0. Here one thing I want to tell to you that here the motion is along x-axis, right? Here our motion, we considered that motion is along x-axis, means the harmonic, simple harmonic motion along x-axis. So its equation we found like this. Okay, suppose our oscillation along y-axis means suppose this is our situation, one spring is attached and here is grounded. If I will press this mass this side, then it will be starts oscillates. This will be its mean position and it will be starts oscillate, but along y-axis. If it is so, then what will be its differential equation? It will be d square y by dt square plus omega square y equal to 0. Likewise, if a system or a mass is going to be vibrate or oscillate along z axis, then it will be its differential equation will be written as omega square z equal to 0. So here, as our mass is oscillating along x-axis, we consider this one. Now we are trying to solve this differential equation. To solving this differential equation, we have to consider the auxiliary equation. So the above equation is a second order differential equation which can be solved by considering auxiliary equation. Here I will suggest that you just remember the way or the method what I am explaining now. In detail you are going to be studying your mathematics and in your core paper 1. Whenever you are going to study the differential equation in detail, at that time you can study. But you just remember that if a second order differential equation in this form, to solve this differential equation we have to consider its auxiliary equation. So its auxiliary equation is will be m square plus omega square y, omega square is equal to 0. That means here we consider that d square by dt square is equal to m square. Likewise, d by dt will be considered as m. I am going to give another differential equation and its corresponding auxiliary equation. See, suppose we are going to consider d square x by dt square plus 2 dx by dt plus 3x equal to 0. Suppose we have this is a second order differential. Its auxiliary equation will be d by dt is considered as m. So it will be 2m. Here it will be m square plus 3 equal to 0. This will be the auxiliary equation. So as this equation have root 2, then we can second order, then we can get 2 roots if we are going to solve this equation. Likewise, this equation also a second order, so we can get obviously 2 roots. So here m square plus omega square equal to 0. That means m square is equal to how much? Minus omega square, right? M equal to root over of this one. Root over this one means minus 1 root over omega square root over. So minus 1 root over will be nothing but I. Omega square root over means plus or minus omega. Plus or minus omega. So here I written m will be plus I omega or minus I omega. So here we got 2 roots of this auxiliary equation. So hence, if 2 roots we got, then 2 solutions will be acceptable. 2 solution means x1 equal to e to the power I omega t and x2 equal to e to the power minus I omega t. These 2 solutions will be satisfy this differential equation. Means these two solution can be acceptable as a solution for this differential equation, and both are satisfy this equation. Okay, I suggest that what are the steps I followed to found the solution, you just follow now, and in detail whenever you are going to study in your mathematics, at that time you will be fully cleared. Okay, so here we got the 2 solutions. So x1 equal to e to the I omega t, x2 equal to e to the minus I omega t, both can be acceptable. So here another things also we have to consider, that is Wronskian, that is W-R-O-N-S-K-A-N, Wronskian, that is W. So first we have to find out the Wronskian. Wronskian means x1 x2, x1 dash x2 dash determinant. So x1 is nothing but e to the I omega t, x2 is nothing but e to the minus I omega t. Here first derivative of this one is I omega e to the I omega t. First derivative of this one is minus I omega e to the minus I omega t. If we are going to take the determinant of this one, we can get minus 2 I omega, which is not equal to 0. So here, if the Wronskian is not going to be 0, if Wronskian not equal to 0, then the linear combination of 2 solutions will be called as the general solution. That means whenever Wronskian is not equal to 0, then these 2 solutions will be called as linearly independent with each other. So if this condition is going to be satisfied, then the linear combination of these two solutions, linear combination means just addition with multiplication of a constant, will be also a solution. That means the so-called linear combination means, here see, x1 and x2 are the two solutions. The linear combination is nothing but ax1 plus bx2 also be a solution. That means x equal to a e to the I omega t plus b e to the minus I omega t will be the solution of the differential equation, this one. That means of our simple harmonic motion. So this equation number 4 also called as the general solution of the differential equation, this one. Okay, so we found in this way, we found that this will be the acceptable solution and this too also the acceptable solution, but general solution we have to consider always, that is this one. So the general solution what we found, x equal to a e to the I omega t plus b e to the minus I omega t is the general solution of the differential equation, this one, or the simple harmonic motion. Now for further simplification of equation number 4, what we done, see, we consider that the so-called equation number 4 is this one. So here e to the power I omega t can be written as cos omega t plus I sin omega t, because we know that e to the power I theta is how much, is cos theta plus I sin theta, right? E to the power minus I theta is equal to how much, cos theta minus I sin theta, right? So here instead of theta we have taken omega t. So here e to the power I omega t can be written as cos omega t plus I sin omega t. E to the power minus I omega t written as cos omega t minus I sin omega t. So here a cos omega t, b cos omega t. We can write a plus cos omega t. Here I sin omega t minus a I sin omega t, b minus b I sin omega t. We can write I a minus b sin omega t. Okay. Now let a plus b is equal to a sin phi and I a minus b is equal to a cos phi. Okay. So the above equation will be how much, x equal to a sin phi into cos omega t, a cos phi into sin omega t. This is nothing but sin a plus b formula. So we can write x equal to a sin omega t plus phi, let it is equation number 5. So this is our simplified solution of the differential equation, that is this one, which represents a simple harmonic motion. So from the above discussion what we found, that the simple harmonic motion can be represented by a second order differential equation, and solution of this differential equation will be exponential term, can be acceptable by in this format, and also in general equation will be this one, also in this format can be acceptable, or it can be acceptable by a sine function, with a sine function or sinusoidal function. Okay. Why it comes out, because if we are going to consider sin theta graph, this will be like this, means it is with period 2 pi, see at 0, this is pi, this is 2 pi. After 2 pi it is repeats itself. So with a time period it repeats, moving higher position, then moving lower position, then moving higher position, lower position. So higher lower oscillates value in between 2 pi, again further 2 pi the same things happens. That means this is or the sine function, if we are consider sine x, this one also is one type of oscillation. So only for that our solution came out with the sine function. So let this is equation number 4, equation number 5. Okay. Now we are going to consider some special cases. Case number 1, we consider that particle starts from the mean position. Particle starts from the mean position. That means this is our spring. Okay. This is our spring attached with a mass, and this is vibrates about its mean position, that is x equal 0, it vibrates like this. So if we are going to say that something is starts, that means time starts that point, from that point. That means when something starts, at that time equal to 0. Okay, so starts motion from the mean position. So at time t equal to 0, the displacement is how much? 0, or the position of the mass is where? X equal to 0. So if we are going to put x is equal to 0 and t is equal to 0 in this equation number 5, what we are going to get? See, x equal to 0, a sin t equal to 0 means omega t will be 0 and sin phi. That means sin phi will be 0, the phi will be 0. If phi will be 0, sin phi will be 0. So here phi a will be equal to 0. Hence x equal to a sin omega t, let it is equation number 6. Now we have to consider the second case, that particle starts motion from extreme position, that is t equal to 0, x equal to a. That means suppose this is your extreme position, this distance is suppose a, from mean position to here, this distance suppose a, and the particle starts from here. That means you dragged this particle from origin to here, and then you are going to leave. So from there the time starts means t equal to 0 and x equal to how much? A. Now we are going to put these two value in this equation. What we are going to get? Equal to a sin 0 plus phi, that will be sin phi will be equal to 1, phi equal to pi by 2. So x can be written as a sin omega t plus pi by 2, or this will be x equal to a cos omega t. Let it is equation number 7. Now we are going to consider, if we consider suppose phi equal to pi by 2 plus theta. Here we found phi equal to pi by 2, that means one angle. Suppose we consider that phi will be angle, any arbitrary angle, phi by 2 plus theta, then what will happen? The equation number 5, if we are going to consider phi equal to pi by 2 plus theta, so here we are going to consider instead of phi, pi by 2 plus theta, it will be a sin omega t plus pi by 2 plus theta will be equal to pi by 2 plus omega t plus theta will be equal to a cos omega t plus theta. Let it is equation number 8. So what we done by considering these three cases, the solution of this differential equation or the solution of the simple harmonic motion can be represented by the sine and cosine format. See here, sine, in sine format it can be represented, here it can be represented cosine format. So from equation number 5, 6, 7, 8, it is concluded that a simple harmonic motion can be expressed in terms of sine or cosine function. Okay, so as here sin x is varies from, this is plus 1 and this is minus 1, plus 1 and minus 1, oscillates in between plus 1 and minus 1. Likewise cos, if we are going to consider cos, it will be oscillates also plus 1 and minus 1. Okay, this is the cos x graph, this is the sin x graph. So as these two functions oscillates in between plus and minus with a particular period 2 pi, so any oscillation can be represented with the help of sine and cosine function. Next we have to discuss about physical parameters of the simple harmonic motion, but in next class. In the next video we are going to be discuss. Up to this, you just watch this video.